Hi everyone, Quill Fan here again. Today I'm going to step a bit out of my comfort zone because I wanted to talk about the Tarot of the Sidhe. And usually I like to talk about decks that aren't as well known and that don't have such a large fandom and or have so many videos already up on YouTube. And I like to talk about videos that I either just unboxed, so I cannot know much about them, or that I have worked with for a while already, so I can know much about them. This deck is somewhat in between all of that, because there are a lot of videos out there and there are a lot of great reviews out there, and it does have a huge fandom, and I don't know much about this deck. Still, I somewhat feel a need to talk about it, and this is what I'm going to do now. Let's get all of these like facts or statistics or whatever you might call them, I don't know, out of the way first, so we can really talk about the cards afterwards. This deck is by Emily Carding, which means that the text of the booklet and the art of the cards is by Emily Carding, which is awesome. It is published by Schiffer in 2010, I believe. Yes. So it comes in this gorgeous, very, very sturdy box. Easy to open because of these like holes here. Lid fits like a glove, and the box has the exact same size as the cards. So there is no shuffling around there. So you really could keep your deck in there. Which I like. I mean, usually I like to make pouches for my decks. I don't know if I'm going to do that with this deck, because honestly, I really like this box. Other than that, it comes with this gorgeous booklet. I'm not going to call it a little white book because it isn't. To me, at least, it isn't. There is a lot of information given in here from what I can see so far, because I haven't read it from cover to cover. Just so you know what you get, it's, let's see, I think it's 96 pages. It's a quite tiny writing, so, but it's easy to read nonetheless. But so there's, you can really see that there is a lot of information given in there. You get acknowledgements at the beginning, then you get a foreword by John Matthews, then an introduction, and then she goes off talking about the Major Arcana cards. You get this little paragraph or two about the meaning of the cards. And what I really like about that is that it is written from the perspective of the card itself. So the card is talking to you about itself, which I really like. You get those little keywords here, and then, and this is stunning, you get an artist's note. So Emily Carding talks about how she got inspired to paint the card like that. She talks about specific symbols that she wanted to include, all this good stuff that we really love to read about, at least I do. So I really like that. And this leads to like almost 2 pages, sometimes even more, of information for each and every Major Arcana card, which is a rare thing for a little white book. After that, she goes off talking about the Minor Arcana in general and about the 4 suits and how she renamed them and why she renamed them. So this is pretty clear. And then she goes into the 4 suits itself. And at the beginning, you always have this little paragraph about the suit in general. And then it goes off into the cards. And what I really love about that is you don't get much for the Minor Arcana cards. Excuse me. You don't get much for the Minor Arcana cards, but you get this lovely little poem for each and every one. So it's so cute, and it's pretty meaningful and it's pretty inspirational. So you still get enough to be able to really work with the cards. Other than that, you still get the keywords of each card. There's nothing to there's nothing negative here to talk about. After the cards, she goes into how to use the cards. So you have the single cards, spread. You have a 3-card spread. You have a little section about how to create your own spreads. And then there are a couple spreads given in the book. So you get the pentagram career spread, the hexagram relationship spread, the septogram spread of the whole self. And after that, she talks about other ways of using the cards. So you have quite a chunky bit about meditating with the cards, like how you could enter the cards, and you really can. Let me say that straight away. She talks about magic with the cards and about how to use them on your altar. Then she talks about oracles and invocation and how you could connect to the she, and there's a little song of the she at the back. And then you get the something about the artist, and that's it. So there is a lot given in this book. I don't know about the quality of each and every description. I haven't tried out the spread, or at least one spread. I did not try out any spread in this book. I will at one point, I think, but for now I did not feel the need to do so. And I will talk about why in a second. So I cannot give you a full review on this booklet. I just wanted to let you know what you get. From what I have read so far, I really like it. But again, I did not read much. So, given the fact that I did not read the booklet, given the fact that I did not work with each and every card in the deck, given the fact that I did not use it for spreads at all yet, so why do I want to talk about this deck, you might ask? And this is a good question. So just to give you a bit of background information about my coming to terms with the Tarot of the She. I bought it a couple months back, maybe 3 months back. And I bought it with the thought in mind that I'm probably not going to like it, because I am not drawn in by the art. Or at least it's not an art that I would prefer. This is not what I would hang up on my wall. This is not my typical style. But still, there was something about the cards that kind of lured me in. So I looked through the cards once I got the deck, and it came as I thought, and I did not like it. So I put it away, and I thought about passing it on, but there was this little voice inside my head saying, no, you better keep this deck. And with tarot decks especially, and with oracle decks as well, I really like to go with my gut. So I choose decks with my gut and my intuition if I want to use a deck. And in this case, it was the same. So I followed this kind of urge to keep it and put it away. And after about a month or so, maybe 1.5 months of not looking at it at all, I kind of felt the need to take out the cards again and have a second glance. And I don't know what happened in that second. I really don't know, but there was such a huge shift of energy and such a huge shift of kind of perspective within me. I really did not expect that, and I really did not experience that with any other deck, because I realized that the one thing that kind of held me back from really working with the images, or from liking the images, or from getting the images, was the fact that I did not know what I was looking at. And And from my understanding of the Sidhe, I thought that they were something similar to the Fae. So some kind of similar energy to them, maybe even some similar looks to them. But my idea of the Fae comes from the Terror of the Hidden Realms. So definitely not what you're looking at or what you're getting from the Terror of the Sidhe. And at that moment of realization, I should call it, I got that it really did not matter at all what I was looking at. There was no need for me to kind of put it into a drawer. There was no need for me to kind of define it, because the information that the cards kind of revealed to me were so pure and so fresh and so new. It was almost like working with something that I really did not know at all. So I decided to not read the book and to not read about the Sidhe and to not research anything about the Sidhe, because I wanted to keep that approach, this very new approach to the Sidhe. And to me, I like to call them my little aliens, not because I think that even though the eyes in the images look a bit like alien eyes from like the old movies, but I don't think that these are aliens, but I like to call them my little aliens because it is something I don't know anything about. I don't know the energy at all. I don't know the frequency they are working on. I don't know the look. I just don't know it, and I don't need to know. And I really started to feel very comfortable in this kind of like on this unstable ground. There was a huge, I don't know how to really say that, but there was so much like power in this not knowing that I really wanted to keep this. This is the reason why I did not read the book. So it wasn't like because I wasn't interested, but it was because I really wanted to keep the pureness of the cards. Okay, this was me like probably talking very rambly and bad about this. I hope you got what I wanted to say. And now I wanted to show you the cards. So, just in regards of the cardstock, I forgot to mention that beforehand. It is quite bendy. You can bend it easily, but it is very, very sturdy. So it's quite thick. You will see at the end when I package all the cards together that it is quite, you get a real chunk of cards, and it isn't easy to shuffle them necessarily. You can rifle shuffle them. I can, but my hands are pretty not too large, but I don't have tiny hands, and I can shuffle them, but it isn't easy. They are very glossy, as you can tell. And just in regards of the size, they are huge. This is a typical Llewellyn card. This is the Greenwich Tarot. So you can see the Tarot of the Sidhe is a lot larger. This is a typical Los Scarabeo card. This is the Sacred Sites Tarot. And you still can see the Tarot of the Sidhe is a lot larger. So it's more like the dimensions of an oracle deck than an actual tarot deck. It comes with a pretty huge black border, but for whatever reason, I really don't know, and again, I like to go with my guts, I don't feel the need to trim it at all. And you know me, you know that I love to trim my cards, but with this, no. I really feel like they need this. They need this kind of frame to them. Probably because I did not use them in spreads yet, but I used them in meditation, or I used them and I had an experience with one of the cards I will talk about later, but I really was kind of sucked into the card. And I feel like this border in this case is quite helpful for that. So I'm not intending to trim them. I did edge them, as you can see, in black, just because. Why not? Okay, now let's just simply have a look at the cards. I, again, haven't worked with all of them. I kind of came to terms with them, but I cannot really talk you through in a way I could if I had worked with each and every card and if I had read the guidebook. But I just wanted to have you take a look. I mean, look at this. This is so beautiful. Look at how you have the mountains here and you have the grass and the flowers in her dress. This is stunning. A beautiful and gorgeous empress. Oh, I mean, the colors are very, very vibrant. I love this kind of Hierophant, the elder, because who is the Hierophant in this card? Or who is the elder? Who is the one? Who's the teacher? Who is the recipient? Is it the tree? Is it the snake? Is it this she? Or is it you if you take place in this round? Love this card. Love it. The Lovers. Again, I'm just simply going to show you the cards. You can make it of it what you like because I cannot talk you through. Justice is 8. So Strength is 11. And Strength, again, is one of my absolute favorites. And you know why in a second. Because, oh my gosh. I'm just speechless. I love this one. I wanted to talk about the energy of the cards just for a bit. Probably, I don't know why, but probably because I came to terms with looking at something absolutely new and absolutely fresh to me. Look at this. Look at the reflections in her eyes. So beautiful. Never mind. But because I kind of came to terms with all of that, I was able to kind of grasp the energy of this deck a bit better, I think, because I realized that it was, again, something absolutely new and fresh and something I never experienced before, because the energy you get from this deck, if you really focus, or at least I can only talk for myself, but the energy I got from this deck when I focused on one single card was a lot more, it was like the air was getting more dense and more heavy and more thick. So really absolutely different and completely new to me. Not kind of not scary, not in a scary way, not in a way that made me feel uncomfortable, but still completely new and completely different from everything else that I've ever experienced. It was like you could almost grab it, like the air was so thick you could almost grab it. Just simply amazing. All of the aces here, I love that you get, so you're not lost, because I'm stumbling over my words again. She renamed all of the suits. So for the fire, aka one suit, we have the warrior. For the air, aka sword suit, we have the dreamer. For the water, aka cups suit, we have the dancer. And for the earth, aka pentacles or coins suit, we have the maker. I like that you get, like with the aces, you get all of the elements at the bottom, so you really know where you're at. So these are the aces, and aren't they just gorgeous? Just gorgeous. Again, I really wanted to get this across. You really need to, or I feel like you really need to look at these cards as if you're looking at something you have never experienced before. Like view them through the eyes of a child. So I think that's kind of important. So here we have the warrior, which is the ace of fire. We have the warrior 2. So she just goes on counting at the top. And at the power you get these little keywords. So it's power awakes. Gorgeous. Warrior 3. Alignment. Warrior 4. Foundations blessed. Warrior 5. Action frustrated. And this, for example, is one of the cards that came up for me already. And it really, I really don't know why. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you're reacting totally differently. But looking at this card, if you're concentrating on this card, it is like a door is opening, and I could feel the heat. I could feel his frustration. I could feel his anger, and I could feel that if he just stopped being so pushy, if he just stopped being so I don't know, if he just stopped being so over the top, they would let him through. So it's because of the way that he's approaching them that he's blocked. And I really, this is I mean, I had this with other decks as well, but it just clicks so easily now with the Tarot of the She, which is like, this is a new experience for me. Here we have the Warrior 6, no foe too great. Warrior 7. Whoops. Warrior 8. Dragonflight. Warrior 9, the Guardian. Warrior 10, the Great Task. I mean, this is just stunning. It's just... for the court cards, she goes with Princess, Prince, Queen, and King. And they all have gifts to offer. So for the Warrior Princess, she has the gift of courage. For the Warrior Prince, he has the gift of spirit. For the Warrior Queen, she has the gift of charm. And for the Warrior King, he has the gift of glory. So I really like that. And to be honest, there is only one single card in this deck, or one single picture in this deck that I don't like, and it's one of the maker cards. So you will see it. But other than that, right now I really love all the images. It's still not art that I would necessarily put up on my wall, but it is so meaningful and so, like, it just comes at you with such nice speed, and I really love that. So gorgeous. Here we have Air, the Dreamer. Look at this. Dreamer 2, Half Moon Truce. Love it. Dreamer 3, Soul Loss. Dreamer 4, Restoration. Dreamer 5, Hope Discarded. Dreamer 6, Insight's Voyage. Dreamer 7, A Coward Betrays. Not necessarily the way I would see this card, but okay. I love this one. Dreamer 8, Web of Mirrors. Stunning. This is just stunning. There's nothing else to say about that. Dreamer 9, Nightmare. Dreamer 10, Desolation. Whoa. Dreamer Princess, The Gift of Telling. Dreamer Prince, The Gift of Liberty. This is my actual card of the week right now. And I'm going to read you the little poem just very quickly so you get an idea of the poem. So, Dreamer Prince. He dreams of more than any could know, but they are seeds he cannot sow. His winged thoughts fly upon the air, never to land within a prayer. And the keywords are inspired, quick thinking, ideas, schemes, impractical, and original. Like it. But again, this little poem gives you all you need to be able to work with this card and to be able to really step into it. I tried to, but he was ignoring me. And this is another thing I have to say about these cards. They're a bit cocky sometimes. And like, it is a bit like talking to someone with an own, like if they had like a real own personality. And you kind of have to approach them like that, which is silly in a way, because obviously this is just a tool. Tarot is just a tool. So this is all going on in my head, but I still love the way that this kind of triggers this feelings, and this kind of triggers these perceptions in me. So love this one. So he did ignore me totally, because he was so immersed in his own thoughts that I stood there a while staring at him, and he wasn't like mad at me or something. He just ignored me totally. Here we have a Dreamer Queen, the gift of reason, and Dreamer King, the gift of judgment. I mean, look at this dragon. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that I love dragons. The cup suit, or the water suit, or the, in this case, dancer suit. Here we have the ace of water, or the dancer. I mean, I love that there is so much, if you want to, there is so much symbolism in the card. If you don't want to, there is so much just energy and feelings just poking you the minute you look at the images. So this is just, I like it. The dancer 2, soulmates. And there's a cat hair. The dancer 3, jubilance or whatever. Dancer 4, vain reflection. Dancer 5, where loss resides. Dancer 6, born of joy. I'm not too fond of this image, but I don't hate it as well. But it's definitely not like on the top where all the other images are. Dancer 7, illusion's depth. This is quite a disturbing image. Now the sun is really shining in here from the side. I hope you can see everything fine still. Dancer 8, escaping stagnation. Dancer 9, make a wish. Dancer 10, heart song. Really like this one. Dancer Princess has the gift of expression. Dancer Prince has the gift of passion. Dancer Queen has the gift of truth. And Dancer King has the gift of wisdom. Off to the Earth suit, or the makers. Here we have the maker, so the Ace of Earth. This is the one I really hate. I really hate this card. I have to work with it, because maybe then I really fall in love with this baby, but for now it's just, ugh. But again, this is probably just me being not able to disconnect this baby from babies I know, like from what I think a baby should look like, because it is too kind of similar to like human babies, whereas all the other figures are they are far away enough from like the usual perception of a human being that you easily can take them for something completely different. This one, the Maker 3, Labor's Fruit, is a card that really, I had my first experience of getting sucked into a card with this card. Because I really did not intend of meditating or anything else. I did not want it to work with the card initially. I just looked at it because it was my card of last week. And she pulled me in. And I was there in the scenery, and I was standing there looking at her, and she wasn't too happy with me being there. for a second. She wasn't grumpy necessarily, or she wasn't like mean or something, but she was working and she was concentrating, and I was disturbing her. So she was a bit, well, maybe stern. And when I wanted to take a step forward, she said no, in a very snarling, deep voice. And so I stood where I was and I stayed there and I waited for her to finish. And then she kind of waved at me to come to her. And I went there, and she did not talk, so she did not move her mouth, but it was more like a telepathic thing. I don't know, but I heard her like very clear in my head. And she had created this plant, and it was blooming very beautifully. And she was looking at me, and she took my hand, and she had she had a bit of a rough skin, like someone who was working all his life. And she pressed my hand at the stem of the plant, and I got shocked, like electricity shocked. Not like too bad, but I don't know how to explain it, but just, again, this little shocking moment you get if you grab something that's, I don't know how to say that, but I think you know what I mean. So I got shocked from all the energy, and I couldn't let go. I couldn't take my hand off of it because she had hers on mine. And she looked at me, and I could feel like there was so much energy just surging through this plant and surging then through my body. And I really could not let go. And she looked at me and she said, "You have to give it a piece of your heart," or something like that. I cannot imagine, like, I cannot remember precisely what she said, but it was something about that I have to leave a bit of my heart in there. And I had to figure out what she meant with there. So where to leave a piece of my heart. And I figured it out after a while, but I think it's more kind of globally than just one single task. And once then she looked at me like, really, she looked me deep in the eyes, and then she turned around and left. And she didn't say a word again. And I felt like it got cold afterwards. And I was freezing. When she left, she was quite a bit chubby and a bit smaller. And she had this kind of, I don't know, she had such a wobbly walk. And she just was leaving into the distance. And I knew that she would not come back. Because she just finished her business there. And then I was able to kind of let go of the plant, and I was able to put the cart away and step out of it. And it sounds a bit silly talking about that. I have to say that, because really it's not like something you could grasp, and it's maybe someone would think that I'm crazy, but this is just what's happened with this cart. So, and this was my very first experience with the Tarot of the She. So, this is powerful, guys. This is a powerful deck. Probably not to a lot of you, and maybe you have had these experiences with a lot of decks. I haven't. I stepped into cards like willingly on meditation, and I was able to kind of communicate with the archetypes and stuff like that. But this kind of involuntarily, is this a word? It popped up in my head, so I think it is a word. So just without me intending to go into the image, just getting sucked into it. I've never had this with another deck, just with this one. So powerful little deck, this one. And I rambled far too long already. Okay, Maker 4, the Greedy Tree. Maker 5, Winter's Bite. Maker 6, Generosity. Maker 7, effort sustained. Maker 8, emergence. Maker 9, root and blossom. Maker 10, kingdom prospers. Maker princess, the the gift of creativity. Maker prince, the gift of connection. Maker queen, the gift of healing. And last but not least, Maker king, the gift of skill. Other than all of the energy talk that I already did about this deck, just something that I wanted to mention, but I think you already know this if you have heard of this deck, is you have this glyph of the she on the back, and you have this glyph in each and every card at some point as well. So no matter what card you're going to pick, you will find the glyph somewhere in the card. Sometimes you have to search for it for a while. So for example, here I don't see it like on first glance, but it is somewhere in the cards, in every card. Just so you know. So I wanted to show you how chunky this deck is. So I cannot, like in the length, I cannot grab it fully. So, and I again don't have like tiny hands. You can rifle shuffle it if you want to. It is pretty laminated because of the shine. I have a really hard time grabbing it. But then if you grabbed it fine, you can really easily shuffle it. And obviously you can shuffle it, overhand shuffle like this. This way I can only like grab the second part of it and shuffle this one in. But I mean, that's okay. So I'm not going to do a spread as I usually do at the end of a walkthrough, because I've used it once in a 3-card spread for clarification, but other than that, I have never used it in a spread, and for now, I don't feel like changing that. So for me, it's not important to have the cards, have to have a look at the cards, how they really work together, and I haven't read a spread with that. I just read like each card individually yet, because I really feel like, for me at least, this is a deck more to work with the cards individually and to really get sucked into the cards and get your message from my sweet little aliens. So if you want to hear more about it, or if you want to see a spread of it, please let me know in the comments. If you think that I'm crazy, please let me know in the comments as well. If you want to see a specific other deck that I own, please let me know in the comments as well. Although I am intending to make a video of my deck collection in maybe a week or so, because I have the Mayor Arcana coming at the beginning of March, and I will include this. So, or I want to include this. So once it's there, I'm probably going to do another video, like an updated video on my deck collection. And then you can really see what I own. And if you want to see a review or a walkthrough of a deck, just let me know. So that's it. I hope you all have a gorgeous day, and see you next time. Bye.